Good evening, everybody. Drop something. Back after dealing with some unnecessary extra drama with getting an apartment, because where I live there's always extra drama. There's, the stuff that normally entails, and then there's the added element of dealing with the good old boys club that make extra rules, usually on the fly. So that was fun. But when I get to the topic at hand, working with Queen Lilith. Now, I talked about in another video, the signs that if she's calling to you. I've talked about how it's difficult to form a bond with her, particularly if you're male, which in that case it's pretty much don't call her, she'll call you kind of thing. But what's it like to work with Lilith? What are the benefits of working with this particular goddess, this embodiment of dark feminine energy, the queen of the night, the most slandered woman in history, the one that scares the hell out of the red pill community and associates all modern women with her, although not all modern women would be accepted by Lilith, because, Lilith actually believes in something, whether you agree with her or not. She has a strong belief system, and she has a goal. She is working towards something, whereas, a good chunk of modern women and modern men, I'm talking the younger generation, are, sadly, I would describe them as wannabe baby boomers, and everything's about keeping up with the Joneses and prolonging high school cliques, which is pathetic. But why work with Lilith? Digress from my rantings. Lilith is a powerful goddess, and she can help you succeed in many ways and in many things. But at what cost, you ask? Oh, there's always a cost with black magic, particularly blood magic, which I'm about to go do in a little bit. Just a little offering. I'll show my little medical lance next time. It's really no big deal. It's no different than a diabetic checking their sugar. Yes. But Lilith can provide, first and foremost, a sense of empowerment. If you want to find a way to express your true self, Lilith will help you do that. She hates fake people. So do I. Yeah. If you want knowledge, particularly hidden knowledge, hidden truth, seek the knowledge of why the status quo is broken kind of thing, Lilith will help you with that. And of course, freedom and free will, because she's all about that. She's the first one to discover it. First one who was born with free will and chose to exercise it at all costs. Damn the consequences, which included, exile, becoming a demon, being made barren, being chased around, the red desert to the Red Sea, trying to be forcefully drugged back to Eden to submit, having to fight them off, becoming the mother of demons, having a lot of her children killed, and so on. You know how the story goes. I've told it. This isn't about her story. Lilith, working with her, you can regain your self-confidence, which is important for those that have been through narcissistic abuse, particularly if you're somebody like me that's basically your whole life been told you're not allowed to be yourself, and you must fall in line with some very narrow box of what you're supposed to be based on some oppressive force. In my case, narcissistic baby boomers. Lilith will help you express who you really are and try to recover that, and she'll lead you down that path. Here's something I want to add. Well, maybe I'll save it for packs. I said I'll mention it. Packs with Lilith are tough, and I'm talking after you make them. The transformation will happen. Transformation ain't gonna be easy. You're gonna get to where you want to go. You're gonna suffer along the way, because in order to get where you want to go, there has to be change. How does Lilith create change? Chaos. So she'll be destroying stuff around you, burning down the shitty life you don't like, and, lead you through the ruins to where you want to be. But first, she's got to burn down what you're trying to escape. If you can't fix it, you got to destroy it. Lilith is kind of like, I thought I could fix this, but couldn't stop from tearing it down kind of thing. Yeah. But above all else, working with Lilith, she will encourage you to be authentic. You must always be authentic with Lilith, or you won't get anywhere with her. As I've said before, there's no fooling her. There's no lying to her. She sees right through you, and she will call you out and be mad. You don't want to see her mad. Working with Lilith, I said, is ideal for tapping into dark feminine energy, sometimes called dark lunar energy. Lilith is a moon goddess, though the most famous moon goddess would be Diana, but Lilith is associated with the dark moon because she's the dark part of feminine energy, and obviously the moon is associated with feminine energy. As I've mentioned before, the moon card in the tarot is a female card, whereas the sun and the stars are masculine cards. I really need to get around to that tarot video where I talk about bad cards. Some are male, some are female. We'll get into that. Because she is a moon goddess, she can, well, it's for females, but then again, that's over 90% of the people she works with. She can help with menstruation, fertility, and regulating feminine cycles, which are also associated with the moon. But also, this one actually comes into play for me, the moon is tied to intuition. Lilith can help you reach your full intuitive potential if you are someone who is intuitive to begin with, and perhaps you doubt your intuition. So, as a witch deciding to work with Lilith, first, do your research on her. Watch videos on her, read up, learn what Lilith is about, learn what being on the left-hand path is about, and know what you're getting into, because it's not something you take lightly. Lilith's not for dabblers. It's kind of, you're either all in or you're not in at all. There's no halfway with her. And remember, she is associated with knowledge and wisdom, and you must always keep an open mind because she has her own way of going about things. Differs from all the others, even the other demons. She does it her own way, and nobody controls her. She's going to do it her way, and that's how it's going to be. She does things on her own time, too, so you're in for a ride. You're in for quite a ride. So that's reasons why someone would work with Lilith to seek those things. Mostly to break the chains of a false life. A lot of times, for those of us that Lilith sought us out, it seems as if we were already a witch of some kind. Some on the right-hand path, some on the left-hand path. And she came to us in a time of sorrow and misery where life wasn't worth living. Where we were basically, myself included, being drugged down a path and pigeonholed into living a life we'd rather die than live. I was working 7 days a week at a job I absolutely despised as an assistant golf course superintendent, and living in an area I didn't like. I had no purpose. The money sucked. All I did was work with a bunch of, uneducated redneck types with drug and alcohol problems. So, yeah. And then I got shot and almost died, and Lilith showed up and asked me if I truly believed in free will, and, things started to change after that. But there had to be that near-death experience and that destruction, and that is not that uncommon with her. I'm not saying everybody almost has a near-death experience, but sometimes that is required to kill off that part, that false part of you that's, struggling to stand up for yourself, struggling to be the person you really want to be, and it's just like being, albeit reluctantly, but in a defeated kind of mindset, slowly being consumed and chained to that false life, being drugged down that false path in chains, a path that gets deeper and darker and harder to escape. She'll break those chains, and then your true work begins. But you're broken, so you got to build yourself back up and show that you are serious, prove yourself, and then she'll help you get back onto the path where you need to be. There will be sacrifice. It's always sacrifice with dark magic. She will require you to sacrifice something that means a lot to you before you're fully accepted. It has to be something, that would prove yourself to her. In my case, my dream job was to be a firefighter, so to speak out publicly on the news and about the good old boys club and the fire department, not only with my story, but also, the racism, sexism, and covered up rapes that were going on in the department, and how the IAFF, the union, when people are accused of these things, depending who it is, if they're in the good old boys club, the IAFF won't help the victim, but they'll pay for the lawyer of the guilty party. Yeah. So, and by doing that, I blacklisted myself in the profession that I longed to be in since I was 17, to have that badge, that thing that I thought would make me whole. And obviously, you know enough about Lilith to know that she hates good old boys clubs more than I do. So by sacrificing my dream job forever, that was my sacrifice. Let her know I was serious. And now I'm back in a profession I never thought I'd be back in. Oh, that's kind of funny. But I'm following her lead. Apparently it's important for me to be back in this profession. She said it'll lead to something. And she knows I ain't trying to get money. So who knows? Who knows with Lilith? It'll be something. And I'm sure I'll have battles along the way. But yes, it is a long road with Lilith, but it is a road of enlightenment, a road of awakenings, understandings, and just that feeling of freedom I remember when you get to the point where you just absolutely don't care that you don't fit in, and you understand just what a crock the status quo is, and what a crock like assimilation and conformity is, and that it's better to be despised and free than to be in the group but wanting to die, basically. So there is that. There is that. A life in exile is better than a life of submission. Lilith is the quintessential submissive being, but specifically woman. So I hope that's helpful of why, it's a brief introduction of why somebody would want to work with Lilith. What are the benefits of it? Obviously not the benefits of witchcraft or even the left-hand path, but Lilith specifically. And next time I think I'll get into the different offerings for Lilith. And you obviously know blood's one of them. So yes, next time, offerings to Lilith. What does she like? Loyalty, for one. Lilith's very loyal. Working with Lilith, that's another thing. She has trust issues, which I sympathize with, because I do too. So, that is a plus once you earn her trust. She is very protective once you're accepted. It's a nice thing about working with her, is having this very protective, very powerful, primordial goddess on your side. But remember, even as powerful as Lilith is, it ain't a cartoon. She ain't a genie. She can make stuff happen like that. She can make things happen, but things have to fall in place. Like things rarely can change overnight. So it'll take time, and in the case of Lilith, there'll be chaos. A lot of chaos, and some short-term suffering, because And the funny thing is, the short-term suffering is because she's actually trying to do it quickly. So to get you to where you want to be as fast as she can may mean there has to be chaos in the short term to get you away from where you are now and to make you move on. She'll give you a kick in the ass too. So yes, working with Lilith, it'll teach you to stand up for yourself if you can't. It'll teach you how to say no if you struggle to do that. Yes, the ENFJs, Lilith can teach even you that. And it'll teach you how to be your authentic self no matter what, no matter who says what, no matter what ridicule you get for it. And to value your individuality and your authenticity and your own personal enlightenment and your own personal feelings about what you value and what you view as evil and what you view as corrupt. And that the status quo is not unquestionable just by being the status quo. Alright, so next time, offerings on Lilith. Remember, do your research, learn about the Dark Mother, learn and see what she has in store for you, if anything. Only you can find that out.